Rob Davalishvili, wake up! It's time to get yourself out of those silk sheets. I was going to start the show by talking about how hard of a worker Marab was. He pulled himself up by his bootstraps. Then I go on his social media. The guy is living it up in Georgia, partying with Rupert. I'm talking wine, decadent dinners, partying with superstars. He's hanging out with Nina Drama a little too much. I don't know. Back to work. Okay, we knew you as a hard worker. You dominated. Nobody worked harder than you in 2025. Don't let the money get to you. Hello, my name is Owen Lee. You might know me from my big budget productions over on Owen Lee Productions, but on this channel, I just yap. I'm going to do it all in one take. I've heard a lot online. I've read a lot online. I look like Trump here. I've heard a lot online. I've read a lot online of people kind of getting sick and tired of overproduced content, a lot of cuts, a lot of sound effects, all that stuff. And that's what my big channel is for. I put a lot of effort into my stories. But on this channel, I just want to bring value to people. I want to bring information to people. I heard something recently. If you save people time, it brings them value. And so today we're going to talk about, I have some notes here. I'm going to refer to it a couple times throughout the episode because I can't remember it all at the top of my head. So we're going to talk about Marab Davalishvili, Piotr Yan. I used to say Peter. Piotr Yan, I looked it up. Stephen Wilson Jr., an amazing musician I just discovered. I hope you're aware of who this guy is. Star Wars Genesis, if you're into gaming. Even if you're not, I'd love to introduce you to some of these cool things you can do with a video game that if you're a Star Wars fan at all, I think you'll appreciate. And UFC 324, which is coming up in a couple weeks. Very excited. Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett. So, as I said, I wanted to create some value. A show that I look up to is the Ariel Helwani Show. It's a great show. It's not overproduced. They have a bunch of people working on it, but it's not, it's not loud, it's not noisy, it's not obnoxious. Some of them use a little lingo that is a little bit modern, too modern for me. I'm not going to be, I don't know. All those, the meme culture talk, that's not for me, but I'm a big fan of the show. And I realize how much value that brings to me. So that's something I hope I can emulate. There's a lot of shows on YouTube that I watch. Tim Dillon Show, amazing. But first order of business, UFC 324, T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. I think it seats like 20,000. A lot of events are held there because it's very convenient. Dana White already has the connections. That's where they're located, is in Vegas. That'll be exciting. That's coming up on the 28th, I believe. Let me double check my information here. I believe it is, UFC 324 will be January 24. I'm not editing that out. It's January 24th at the T-Mobile Arena. It'll be the first event on the Paramount new home of the UFC. If you're interested, you can go and for like $60, you can get a year of Paramount Plus for like $60. Now that's got the ads in it, but it'll, we used to have to go to the bars and all that. Now every single show is going to be on Paramount Plus. So that's kind of excited. I'm going to miss meeting people. I kind of yap a lot, so I enjoy meeting people. I'm a social person. I'll miss meeting. I made some good friends, actually, maybe some lifelong friends even at UFC events, going to the bar, watching it there. But this year will be, technology forces you inside to be less social, the irony. But looking forward to that. Paddy, really obnoxious guy, but truly amazing what he did in, I don't know if it's his last or second to last bout he went up against King Green, is what he goes by now. I was blown away by his submission. I mean, I had no idea that Paddy had that level of technique. I'm going to turn this brightness down. It was like making me look like Edward Cullen or something. Amazing technique. I had no idea that guy had that in the back pocket, as it were. I mean, I know Paddy for this obnoxious guy that he has some big swings, but I had no idea he had that level of wrestling, grappling, jiu-jitsu, as it were. Amazing. I'm looking forward. Gaethje, big fan. I don't know if you're familiar with Gaethje. I'm a big fan of fighters like Gaethje. I think most of us are. Gaethje, Dustin, Max. These fighters who go in there to brawl, they go in there, they have great technique. They're battle-hardened. They're amazing athletes. And I just did a documentary about Dustin Poirier that was the community appreciated that one more than any of the other ones I've ever done. And I think I know why. I think it's because these guys are willing, this genre of fighter is willing to go out there and give it everything. I mean, just is willing to go all the way all the time and brawl. A lot of fighters, some of them want to win by points, some of them do want to win by striking, some of them want to win by wrestling, some of them want to clench the most, and that's something that he doesn't do. Is the clench? I mean, he clenches, sure, he knows how to, but he's not going to hold you up against the fence for half an hour. I mean, insufferable fights to watch is when they're not doing anything. I understand. Sometimes you have to clench, and when the other guy's pushing, you got to do what you got to do, but it's not fun to watch. Oh yeah, and it's technical, it's competitive, and you get the elbows, and you get the knees. No one likes watching it. So that's how people like Gaethje, that's how people like Dustin, that's how people like Max. They get a massive following. They get the heart of the fans is, in the palm of their hand. We love them. We appreciate them. Looking forward to UFC 325. Don't know what's going to happen. I'm not a prediction guy. I love watching fights. I have a passion for it. I do my best to be objective when they get in that ring. They're not double checking my recording here. If I was yapping into the void. When they get in there, I look at it objectively. They're no longer, the personas and the annoying personalities that they have. I try and let go of all that when they step in that octagon. So I'll use an example, and I'm revealing my hand a little bit here. Someone like Conor McGregor, someone like Ian Gary. They're annoying. I don't like them. I would respect them. I would probably shake their hand. I'd probably have a good conversation with them. But a lot of things they do or say, I just can't respect certain things they do and say. But when they get that octagon, I put all that away and I go, this is a martial artist stepping in there, putting his life, his health on the line. And it's a beautiful thing to watch. Their technique. Ian Gary is an amazing martial artist. He's capable of a lot of different tools. A lot of different tools he's got in his belt. So I try to do that my best. So I'm not a prediction guy. Everybody, I want to make a prediction. I just want to enjoy two of the best fighters in the world going at it. That's me. If I had to guess, I don't even know how to guess. Gaethje it's the classic story of a veteran and a kind of a younger fighter going at it. And it's the tale as old as time. Gaethje's going to probably have the crowd if it's taking place in Vegas. But I think Patty's got a big following on social media. So, it'll be interesting. Media week might be interesting. We'll have to keep tabs on that. Moving on to Merab. Merab is just on my mind. And this is I'm not the news, okay? If you want news, if you want updates, like I said earlier, go to a show like the Ariel Helwani Show. I'm here to talk about things that I'm passionate about. And yeah, I'm going to talk about things that are relevant. I'm not going to talk, I want to inform people. I want to hopefully bring value. But Merab's not really in the headlines, but he's an amazing fighter and I love him. I just did a project on him. Nobody cared. I was surprised. He's on top of the world. He's got this hilarious social media. That project, people did not receive that in the way that they did other people, like the Dustin one, for example. Maybe speaks to the style. Now, Merab has a very particular personality. I personally love him. He works hard. Like I said, I was going to start this show talking about how hard he's working. But he's back in Georgia. He's done this before. He's done it that I would want to go home and visit my family, visit my friends. But the dude is drinking wine. The dude is... Who said this? I think it was Rogan or a guest on the Rogan show. You start waking up in those silk sheets. Working out at 5 a.m., 6 a.m. starts to get less appealing when you're eating steaks for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I love the guy. He's a hard worker. I don't think you can take that out of him. I've seen his story. It's a beautiful story. I like the guy. He came from nothing. It's the classic, beautiful story of coming from nothing in Georgia. He was growing up in a war-torn country. The guy is a phenom. I mean, wrestling outdoors. I mean, doing fights outdoors. This is the level that this guy's got to go to succeed, and there's no promise of money at the end of the rainbow. His country was not stable when he was born. There's not guarantees of money or a future. There wasn't anything. He came to the States, pulled himself up. he was the most active. I mean, tied for the most active fighter in 2020 for the most title defenses ever. I can't recall right now who he's tied with, but amazing. I think if he would have won, I think he would have broken a record. But the guy knows how. He was working construction for years, no promise of money, and he just kept at it and kept at it. Worked the hard job in the morning just to go back to work for the hard job in the gym. He made it happen. I love stories like that. But, you look at his most recent defeat, and I see his social media. I pull it up for an update for this show, and I see the guy, he's just lavish. He's having a silly goose time, which is sweet. But, dude, get back in the gym. Live your life, man. I hope he's happy. I hope he's experiencing the fruit of his labor. But I like many other fight fans, we want to see you back. We want to see you hustling and grinding, which, by the way, that's what he's known for. His coach will tell you he'll be sick. He'll be throwing up. He'll be in the gym no matter what. The day he gets back from flying back home, back to the States from his home in Georgia, he's at the gym. He does not miss a day. He was hard sparring before a title fight. I don't know if it was the Piotr Jan one or if it was the one prior, but the guy's hard sparring the morning before that fight takes place. 10 a.m. he's hard sparring 5 rounds with Aljamain. 10 p.m. or midnight, he's hard sparring for a world title fight. The guy loves martial arts. That's why he's lovable. He has a passion for it. He worked really hard for it. That's what you're known for, man. Get back to it. Let's move on. Piotr Jan. I wanted to talk about him because he just won the belt. Amazing performance. One of my favorite fights of all time has Piotr Jan in it. His repertoire is a thing to behold. It's people like that have such a respect, such a passion, and such a focus and drive for the sport that I love. Now, as a personality and media goes, he's not a guy that, is going to get all the clicks, but his technique is beautiful. I mean, you can look up the Song Yadong fight. It's free on YouTube, I believe. Aljamain Sterling fight, Corey Sandhagen fight. These fights are so technical. I mean, I can't recall what fight it was. It may have been the Song Yadong fight, but it's like you have 15 minutes or 25 minutes, and you're seeing this guy display every talent you possibly could, known to man. I mean, 1 minute he's giving a high kick. 1 minute he's grappling with you. He's rolling around to make sure he gets the position on top. I saw just a few hours ago, he grabbed someone's leg kick and immediately swept their supporting leg for them to fall on the ground and just stared at them as they laid there. I mean, it's like Batman. You can't write this kind of beauty. I mean, oh man, it gets me going. Piotr Jan, on top of the world, put on an amazing performance, most recently against Merab. I was shocked. Merab was on top of the world. He was dominating everyone. Not even close. Not even close. Merab, during that year, most amazing athlete I've seen in a long time, as far as fights are concerned. I mean, not even... When he goes up against a guy like Umar, when he goes up against a guy like Sean, I mean, especially Umar, with the accolade, with the training that he's receiving, and he just... I thought it would be close. I really did. Whether that means, an early stoppage or not, I thought it would be close. It wasn't close. 1-2 rounds, it was pretty close. And then Merab it's like round 1 and round 5, there was no difference. The guy earned, that's where the nickname comes from, the machine. There's no decrease in output, in volume, in energy. The guy is smiling. The guy is having a good time. That's why, man, this guy speaks to me. He builds it with hard work, and he puts on a fantastic show, and then he gets beat in the most baffling way. He's running through everyone, and it's just, he gets just classically, I want to say, out martial artsed. Because if you've seen, go check out Piotr Jan's coach. I don't have it off the top of my head right now. I don't want to waste time doing a Google search. Piotr Jan's coach, I believe it's a black gentleman. I could be mistaken. I think he has dark skin. Try and find someone like that. Click on his profile. He has a flow chart for Piotr Jan to study to make sure that anything that Marab did during the fight, Piotr had an answer to. It was the coolest thing to see. I mean, that is an attention to detail that brings you to the top, that gets you a belt. Amazing. Amazing. Moving right along, I love mixed martial arts. I love stand-up comedy. I love music. These things I love. Snowboarding, I'm a big fan of a lot of things. Steven Wilson Jr., I did not know about him. I guess he had kind of a breakout in 2023. I didn't know that. I thought it was more recent. I thought it was like a few months ago. If you haven't, I'll try and, show a few clips or maybe play a snippet, but I can't play much. I don't want to get struck by copyright strikes. Stand By Me is one of the most moving pieces I've heard in many, many years. This guy is amazing. I'm not a big country guy. I don't like country music. This guy, I guess you would say is country or soul, not folk, but not classic guitar either, but the guy's voice is beautiful. The lyrics are beautiful. The tone in his voice, everything about him. Stand By Me and I'm a Song. Stand By Me I have on repeat right now, but I'm a Song is another beautiful song that'll take you through the emotions of life in retrospect in a way that's just, it's like he has the wisdom of a 70-year-old man, and he's already writing these beautiful, beautiful works. If you get a chance, check him out. Was a boxer, by the way. Hello, was doing research today, Golden Gloves, amateur boxing bouts. No idea, didn't know until a few hours ago that he was a boxer. I think it's awesome how some of these things connect. Rogan brought together the comedy sphere and the fight sphere in a way that just gets me, it's thankful is what I am. I'm thankful for it because it's cool to see those crossovers when they happen. I'm a huge stand-up comedy fan, and Rogan is pouring his love and his attention and his money into making sure that there's a place for comedians so they can make money, so they can draw crowds, enabling that, and it's a beautiful thing. So when I see crossovers, it just gets me excited. And finally, the last news item of the day, Star Wars Genesis. Now, I started hearing about this recently because, ironically, I was actually looking into Starfield. I wanted to play a video game. Now, if you don't know about video games, that's okay. I try my best to speak in a way that a layman could understand. When I go into things, I like to understand things in an objective way. If you go into martial arts, you have no idea what they're talking about, all these names, numbers. It's just a video game on a computer. Starfield, they put millions of dollars into this game. They put years of effort into this game. I think upwards of 5, it might have been 8 years they poured into this game. The publisher is known for creating beautiful works of art that fans love. Everyone was excited, looking forward to this game. Space exploration game, what could be better? We're having all these infinite space exploration video games. People are looking forward to it. Oh, I can fly out into space. I can explore, do whatever I want. I can do these quests. That sounds amazing. Who doesn't want to explore distant planets with aliens and all, quests? That sounds amazing. Even if you're not really a gamer. It's like, wow, I can explore the infinite universe. They've done this with, the name escapes me, but there was a big game. Nah, it's gone. I'll be here all day. I'll remember at the moment I turn the camera off. But there's a game where you could literally explore infinite galaxies and beautiful galaxies, and it's like, that's exciting. People see those kinds of games, and you put that into a big developer and mix, a quest in with it. Oh man, game comes out absolute garbage. The community 100% agrees. No one likes it. It was a mess. They could have done so much. They had the world in their. They could have done so much. They didn't. They chose not to. They put a lot of work in, but the fans unanimously, it's not a good game. I was wanting a game. That's the kind of game I want. I want to be able to explore. I want to be able to kind of have my agency over where and what I want to do and when and how I want to do it. Having freedom is a beautiful thing, and it just, it flopped. For example, you want to go explore to another planet? Let's say there's a city on this planet that you know of. You want to land outside the city and sneak in because you're wanted, you're a criminal, or you have what's it called, outlawed material on your ship. I don't know. I haven't played the game, but I've read a lot about it. You're wanted. Let's say you're wanted. You can't find a city. The cops will nab you. So you go, okay, I'm gonna land in a distant area, and I'll walk into town, and I'll be sneaky. There's invisible walls in the game, so there's no infinite exploration. There's invisible walls. You can't do it. Okay. I want to explore with freedom. So if you land outside the city and try and walk into the city, you can't do it. You're going to hit an invisible wall. You have to fly back into outer space. And another huge problem about the game is the loading screens. You get in your spaceship, there's a loading screen. You leave the orbit, there's a loading screen. You land on a planet, there's a loading screen. You go into a city, there's a loading screen. A lot of us are used to loading screens. If you don't know what that is, you play a video game. Let's say you go up to a door and then all of a sudden you lose control of your character and you see kind of a visual happen, or you see just a picture and a loading bar. You're not playing the game. You're waiting for the next area to load so that you can continue playing the game. People don't like that. People like open world. You can't do that. There's a lot of things people didn't like about the games. It was like uninspired is what people said about the quest, the stories. Okay. I'm getting there. Star Wars. I'm a big fan. I hate what Kathleen Kennedy did. I hate what Disney did. I hate a lot the irony. I used to work for Disney. I hate what Disney has done to one of the most beautiful stories, a story about redemption. That's what Star Wars is. Listen to George Lucas talk about Star Wars. Don't listen to all these other pundits. The only two people you should listen to is George Lucas and a guy named, don't know his name. Star Wars Theory is the name of his YouTube channel. Check him out. He is a true fan. He talks about it objectively. He understands what the story is about. He listens to Lucas. The story is beautiful. You have someone in Darth, by now, if you haven't seen him, dude, this is a spoiler. You have a guy in Anakin. He falls. He betrays his loved ones. He kills. He murders. He sets the galaxy on fire, practically. He destroys millions of lives. And at the end, Luke reminds him, this is not who you are. Be good. Do what is right. And of course, he overthrows the Sith Lord. And they undo all that. So I refuse to watch. I think it was like episode 8 or 9. I think it was episode 9. I refuse to watch it just because I'm not going to allow a beautiful story to be destroyed just so I can be entertained for 2 hours. It's a beautiful story. I'm going to leave it as it is. There's so much beauty in Star Wars. So all that to say, this is Owen Lee Yaps. I'm not in with all of the Mandalorian I heard was great. There's a lot of Star Wars shows. There's a lot of crap too. Not in with all the newer stuff. I basically go 1 through 6 and that's basically it for me. But they incorporate that whole universe. They incorporate everything. New stuff, Mandalorian, or the Bounty Hunter, I think was one of the shows, all the way back to the originals, up to the lovable characters from 4, 5, 6. They incorporated a community of modders. If you don't know what a modder is someone that goes into a video game and changes how things look and how things behave inside of a video game. So, for example, in a game where, say, there are dragons you have to slay, there's a modification, where you can change the dragon into Thomas the train engine, okay? So you're fighting this dragon in the normal version. No, I want to change this game around. You open it up. Boom, it's Thomas the train. You're fighting this locomotive in the sky with dragon wing, So you can do a lot of cool things with mods. What they did with Starfield, not the most successful video game. They completely overhauled everything. Every character, every voice line, every piece of artwork on the wall that you see, all Star Wars. You can do so much. I just found out you can get a Naboo starfighter. That was one of my first thoughts. I love the Naboo starfighter. I think it's the most beautiful spacecraft. I've always been a fan of spaceships. You can get one. You can be a bounty hunter. The Boba Fett, Jango Fett. They are, I think they're Mandalorian. As I said, I didn't watch the show. I apologize. Y'all are gonna not be happy with the fact I can't remember. I believe a Mandalorian is a race of people, and I believe a lot of them tend to be bounty hunters. I could be mistaken on that. I digress. You can be so many different characters. You can be, if you've seen the original, Boba Fett and Jango Fett both were bounty hunters, and they wore this very cool, I believe it's called Mandalorian armor. You can be one of those. You can be, I think you can be Jar Jar, but you can do whatever. Lightsaber mod is coming out. If it's not released now, it will release soon. It used to be difficult. If you're not a video game person, that's fine. They made it easy. It used to be difficult. You had to install a bunch of different things. They made it all into one cumulative install. So you can just download the game, go to their website. They'll tell you how to do it. They have a README. I'll probably put it on screen here for you. I cannot wait. I have not played this game. I am going to snatch this game on sale. It's not worth the 60, $70. Okay. I'm going to grab this game on sale. I'm going to put that mod on. Everybody been talking about this game. Looks beautiful. Don't have experience, but if you don't know, now you know. Everyone, thanks so much for listening to me, Yap. If you're interested in very in-depth stories, that's what my main channel is for. Pardon me, not my main channel. My documentary channel is for. Both channels are my main channel. I want to produce. I don't want to produce. I want to produce something with value. So if this is what you like, stick here. But if you like longer form stories, I put a lot of effort into those things. Writing, research, a lot of edits, a lot of cuts. As you can see with my flubs and my rantings, I didn't cut anything out. I want something like how I enjoy certain shows. I want something that people can enjoy. It's a little bit less of a story and more of an update, more of a, not a news show. I'm not going to be news ever, but things that are relevant in MMA to me that I like. So if you want bigger, rounded out stories about people like Alex Pereira, Dustin Poirier, Israel Adesanya, Merab Dvalishvili, I've done documentaries on these people. Thank you so much. And whoever you are, wherever you are, I hope that you know God and I hope that you love him. Have a good one.